Hey folks, Job here. I've been enjoying my time coming back in patch 8.3 so far, as I haven't played a whole lot of the game since the beginning of BFA, when it was mostly arenas and so on, not really touched the raids, or Mythic Plus so far this expansion. With that being said, it's also a bit of a process to catch up with the item level that would be somewhat competitive, as well as getting things done like essences and corruptions, legendary cloak upgrades, so on. Basically, this will be a bit of a recap of the progress made during my time back on my main, as well as anything interesting that might happen along the way. That would be things like world PvP, horrific visions, Mythic Plus keys, and so on. In addition to this, I'll still be putting effort into making more guides, mostly centering around Hunter for the time being, as well as starting to cover Shadowlands a bit more as we get closer to the expansion. But other than that, enjoy the video, and I'll hop back on for a bit more commentary on any particular clips that require a little more context.
Operating at 37% efficiency.
37!
My first priority coming back in 8.3 was definitely to obtain the legendary cloak and get started on that quest chain, as this would start to open up the way towards unlocking things like assaults and horrific visions, both of which are pretty crucial for not only gearing back up, but also for getting that corruption resistance, so I can start experimenting with more of the corrupted pieces I've gotten so far. And speaking about corruptions, I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on this, but I'll say as someone who isn't playing on the cutting edge of mythic raiding anymore, I actually quite like how it all plays out. That being said, I think I've been pretty fortunate with my RNG so far, as just in my first week back, I've already got a few pieces with infinite stars, rank 3 appendage, rank 2 twilight devastation on a ring, and the haste multiplier, which is fantastic for survival hunters in general. And I've seen a couple pieces with void ritual here and there, but a couple of those have also been cleansed, given all the other options I have to mess around with. And sort of staying on the topic of corruptions, I've also really enjoyed the horrific vision so far. While I've only done the first 5 or so this week to rank up the cloak, I look forward to ranking it up even further to allow for some more wild combinations of the corrupted pieces I've gotten thus far. It's really great having something to progress towards, as I'm primarily a solo player these days, and it does give me a similar sort of feeling as the Mage Tower challenges did back in Legion, as well as pushing through things like Proving Grounds in even Mists of Pandaria. So this is something I'll be pushing towards full clearing with the 5 masks, most certainly, once I've caught up just a bit more in gear. And this really excites me for, honestly, what's to come within Shadowlands with Torghast, and I mean, I'm really just looking forward to that feature as much as any other that they've announced this far, aside from maybe Hunters getting killshot baseline again, which is fantastic. And just to speak on the gearing more generally, aside from just corrupted pieces specifically, I did wind up snagging a LFR version of the Rathian trinket, which has been an absolute blast to use so far in World PvP, and just in general, as even the visual effect from it is pretty awesome. I think it's a nice touch that the wings come out both on the trinket proc itself, as well as the on-use effect. Really adds some nice flavor to it. Aside from that, I was also able to cap my conquest for the week and get a nice little weapon upgrade. 440 is not bad just coming back to the game. I think my last weapon was 380 or something like that. It was the Season 1 BFA duelist weapon, so really big jump there. And in addition to that, I was also able to get a +5 freehold run done, which was nice. I wasn't really expecting to get any sort of keys or mythic dungeons in general done the first week coming back, but I was pretty happy to get a +5 keystone in there before the reset rolled over on Tuesday. And speaking of mythic dungeons, and I suppose just Nilotha in general, I'm sort of wanting to avoid purchasing any type of carries while I get back into things, as I'm really not in any particular rush to push anything extremely competitive these days, and I'm right around 440 item level after just a week or so, so we're really starting to close the gap as far as being able to hop back into Arena and PvP in general. And of course, a large part of that is, in my opinion, due to the somewhat decent RNG I've had with the corrupted pieces, as I don't find myself wanting or needing a better corruption or any different corrupted effects than I have right now, as far as making myself feel more effective. And of course, like anything else, that's subject to change as I continue to climb up a little bit further in item level. Of course, I wouldn't be upset to see things like rank 1 infinite stars or rank 1 appendage on some higher item level pieces to start mixing and matching a bit sooner, but might just have to be patient on that. At any rate, that's more than enough of an update for this week. Thanks for sticking with me if you've made it to this point, and if you've enjoyed the video, go ahead and throw a subscribe for similar content moving forward. We'll likely be touching back on the second part of the Survival Hunter PvP pet guide coming up soon here, so stay tuned, and we'll catch you all next time.